So I think naturally women and men are already different. It's not equal.
How so?
And there's a lot of also internalized oppression. Maybe it's not here anymore, but you know, throughout history, women had to fight for suffrage and, you know, do a lot to earn their rights. And I think even myself, like, I have some of that internalized, like, oh, I don't respect if a woman is in charge as much sometimes, which I've come to terms with and saw.
Is there a reason why?
Because of the way I think I've understood the patriarchy and saw myself through that lens, you know.
So it's the patriarchy's fault. Like there's been no pattern recognition when you've had like a female boss.
Well, I think just like in the past, yeah,
okay.
And noticing that within myself.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, we can talk about like historical stuff, but like, how about just maybe to make it a little easier? Are there any rights that a man has today that a woman doesn't?
It's changing now. Like abortion stuff. It's different.
I'll address that, but is there anything else besides abortion?
Probably are. I'm not thinking of them right now.
I can give you a moment if you'd like to try to manifest one, but okay, well, while you're manifesting one of the ways in which women don't have equal rights to men in the United States today, I guess on the abortion thing, men don't have any reproductive rights. So I actually think you're almost making the opposite argument, that women have more rights than men do.
But what reproductive rights do men need?
They are fathers. They contribute to pregnancy, but they don't have any rights.
I mean, I guess there's sign the prenup, and there's also that shit.
Sign a prenup? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
Please don't play with the cup.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, I think that like on the question itself, and just like something I always try to like encourage other like American women to recognize, and just like while we have this moment, is that a lot of the time we're actually really privileged here in America to have the rights we do as females, and there's countries like Iraq and Afghanistan, where I literally saw a story of a young woman's tongue being cut out of her mouth for speaking poetry in the public square. So we are extremely privileged, even if certain people feel like certain things have been skewed, maybe not in the favor that they'd like. And so that's always something I just try to like encourage us to remember, is that we're actually extremely privileged compared to other countries in our rights and oppression, that kind of stuff.
And I actually think that's a byproduct. I actually think that's a byproduct of just how privileged you are, because you start to create phantom issues. You start to believe that things are actually wrong and want to look for problems in society, especially as women, because you have it so good. Because if you could compare the state of American society for women to other countries where women are still second-class citizens, you realize, like, damn, we do have it made. Like, we could easily not have education. We could not be allowed to speak. We could, all of these things that women in other
public by yourself, all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like in other countries, women are seen as like property almost, where they just can't express themselves as much as we are able to here. Like we can wear crop tops, we can like flash our boobs, we can do all that, and like
we can have these conversations.
Yeah, like
openly and not really,
and not be persecuted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Were you able to, in that moment, think of any ways that women don't have equal rights?
Well, I was thinking more historically.
Okay, sure. Well, I'll finish on the abortion thing really quick. So, like, as a woman, once she gets pregnant, pretty much she has all control. She has all power. She can actually exert massive amounts of power over the man in that situation. But once she's pregnant, she has all the decision making. Now, I acknowledge that some states abortion is illegal, but a woman could always travel to a state where it is legal, and certainly in states where it is legal, there's absolutely no question that she has 100% ability to make decisions related to this. In addition to that, once the child is born, she can make a couple other determinations. There's safe harbor laws, so the woman can go to like a fire station, and I think 30 days post-birth, she can just drop it at the fire station. No questions asked. No question. Can totally
Anonymous.
Totally anonymous. Just give it up. She's not going to have. There's no financial ramification. She won't have to pay. My understanding, she won't have to pay child support. She could opt to adopt it. She could unilaterally, without the father's. I do think perhaps I'd have to research this a bit more.
It depends if his name is on the birth certificate or not. That changes.
I don't know all the dynamics exactly. If they're not married, if they're married, there's a presumption. I don't know exactly. I don't know. Like, does he have to sign I don't know exactly how it works. If they're not married, though, the woman has incredible choice when it comes to much more choice as to what she can do with the child.
Absolutely.
Now, a father who wants to be in that child's life can intervene in some ways. I don't know if there's, with the safe harbor laws, if the father would be able to somehow claim the child. I don't know exactly how it would work.
Again, it depends if his name is on the birth certificate or not. If it's on, like, the hospital note, because then he has more rights to go for that kid or to have claim to the kid.
I don't know if there's situations where the mom could like prevent the father from like going to see her in the hospital. She could probably deny like a given man who's not like she could probably. I'm pretty sure a woman could even deny her husband from being able to go see her in the hospital if she was so inclined, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know the specifics of like the birth certificate stuff, but there's safe harbor laws. They can do adoption, unilateral adoption, and then, or they could just choose to get an abortion, get rid of the kid. So, whereas the man, once the woman is pregnant, your choices cease from conception. You have no rights at all. Here's what can happen. You can ask her to get an abortion, but it's ultimately her choice. So from there on out, if she chooses to have the abortion, but you don't want her to have the abortion, you have zero say. Like, let's say you want her to keep the kid, you would have zero say in a state where abortion is legal. So there's that. So that's a kind of one component. And then the secondary component would be she has the kid and she wants to keep it. You don't want the kid, but she keeps it and delivers the baby, and she's going to raise the kid. You're now on the hook for 18 years of child support despite your unwillingness to be a father. So women can force men into fatherhood. And then this, I think the third thing would be, she can give it up, safe harbor, adoption, and it can be an uphill battle for the man to actually, if he wants the kid, to get the kid. Do you want to offer a rebuttal or a response or?
Oh, me specifically?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hello? Oh my God, bro. I'm sorry I'm getting frustrated with you, but like, holy fuck, guys, come on. Oh my God, please. Typically in a conversation, somebody speaks for a little bit. I kind of went on. The other person responds. Or are you just stonewalling? Is this what you do in relationships? You just stonewall, don't respond, just look at them.
I hate that. That drives me crazy.
Yeah,
when
man.
say
I mean,
something
I think
quiet.
abortion is a smokescreen.
Okay.
The way that I see it, it's just like, because it really isn't fair. I think that men have very little say in what happens to their unborn child. I don't consider myself pro-life, but I do understand how somebody could be pro-life, and I wouldn't have an abortion because it wouldn't solely be my child. So, how could I exclusively have a say over what happens to that child? But at the same time, I don't think making it illegal is actually going to do anything. But does anyone other than me want to talk about this?
I was asking her.
Well, I know, but somebody had to say something. I mean.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk.
How are women oppressed in the United States?
I was saying historically with voting rights,
Okay.
education.
Sure.
Yeah, but I didn't know you meant like right now, today.
So women are not oppressed right now?
I think not systematically,
Okay.
maybe, but
Sure.
through, like generational inherited oppression.
Generational inherited oppression.